grounding. I chose this theme to go with Vashistasana, or side plank pose, because Vashistasana is a sage or a seer, and that to me represents grace and strength. It's a very strong pose. It's basically a side plank. So in order for you to be able to find stability and oblique engagement, you're gonna need to find a strong plank first, then we take it on its side. So let's go ahead and start. We'll start in Samasthiti, everything's still and straight, and we'll go through some Sun Salutations. Letting the hands come down by the sides, a big breath in, and exhale, fold. And then inhale, look up and lengthen, and exhale, let's go ahead and take it back. Now, here's where you have to find the plank, right? Don't be sinky, really push up. And notice, is your butt sticking out, or can you take it under? Maybe you come to your knees. Same thing here, right? Maybe, let's go ahead and lower down into a push-up. Nice, strong. So you lower down. I don't go down very far because I'm healing a shoulder injury. Just go to where you can and push back up. And then from here, we'll slide forward into upward facing dog. And since this is the first one, we'll just kind of hold it for a moment and explore what's going on. You could lift your knees and keep the tail under, lift from the sternum. And then from here, we're gonna take it back to downward facing dog. And just breathe. Inhale, keeping the belly in, really opening the shoulders. So you're really pushing to get those shoulders nice and lengthened. Breathe, inhale. We're opening the front of the shoulders and we're working the back muscles. Breathe. And then from here, let's slowly walk up. Take your time and pull the belly in. And just go to where you can and fold. And then inhale, lengthen, pulling the belly in and rising up. Exhale, hands come down. We're gonna do that again. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, look up and lengthen, and take it back. Find a plank. Maybe you can hold it for a moment, right? Make sure you're not collapsed. Hold this, tail under, and then maybe take the knees down. Lower down, make sure your belly is in, right? Just go down as far as you can, and then push back up strong. And then from here, we're gonna come forward, upward facing dog. The shoulders are drawing down and wide and the sternum is lifting. Legs are strong. Lift that sternum. And then we'll take it back. Downward facing dog. Really reaching through the hands, through the feet. The belly is lifted. You're breathing. Things are opening. Your head and neck are released. One more breath. And then let's make our way up to the front. So pushing down with the hands, nice strength in the upper body. So the lower body is light as you walk up. And then fold. And then from here, lengthen and rise. And exhale, hands down. And now we're gonna come into Surya Namaskar B. So we're gonna modify this a little bit. So you could use your blocks if you wanted on the outsides of the mat. Place your hands down and fold. Inhale, we use this to create lightness to both go up and back. So let's go ahead. You might feel like you're warmed up enough you want to try. Just lift up. So you push down with your hands, lift up and go back. Find a nice plank. And then from here, the same thing. We just find that nice plank on our knees as you lower and then rise up. And from here, coming forward, upward facing dog. Big breath in. And then from here, downward facing dog. Now we're gonna step our right foot forward, lift it up, put it down. Instead of coming to warrior one, keep your back heel lifted. And we're gonna reach through a high lunge. So reach your arms. This is a little different in Sun Salutation B. I'm modifying it a bit. Now you're gonna bend the back knee a little and stretch the top of the hip flexors on that left side. Feel the right butt really strong as you're here. Bend the back knee a little bit more and then straighten. And let's do that one more time. Bend and lower, lower, hold for a moment, rise up. And now we're gonna reach forward, feeling the work in the right butt, and then take your hands down and step back. So you really feel the strength in the legs when you do that. And then nice plank as you lower and rise. And then we're gonna come through to upward facing dog, lifting the sternum, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Now we're gonna step forward with the left foot. Lift the knee up high, put the foot down. And instead of warrior one, we're gonna come into a high lunge. So reach through your back heel. As you reach the arms, keep pulling the left butt back. And then we're gonna bend the right knee so that we get a stretch in the hip flexors there. Feel what that feels like, and then straighten. And then do that again. Bend, hold it for a moment. Feel the stretch in the top of the right thigh. Maybe you could bend the front knee a little more, pull the left hip back. And now we're gonna reach forward, keep pulling the left butt back, take the hands down, step into your plank. Hold the plank for a moment. And now we're gonna lower into that push-up. Go down, the belly is in, up, coming through, pushing down, lift the sternum, and downward facing dog. Breathe here. Inhale, 5 long breaths at least. Exhale. And exhale. Keep breathing. One more breath. Keep reaching. Open the front of the shoulders. Feel the back body. And bend the knees now. Let's lift up. Find a target if you want to jump. Lift up, put the feet down, and fold. And bend the knees, reach the arms, and come to stand. Let's do one more Surya Namaskar B. Bend the knees. This time I'm not going to use the blocks, but you can. And reach up. My hip feels warmed up. I feel like I could do it without them this time. Fold. Inhale, look up and lengthen. And if you want to jump back, make sure you push straight down. And it's like a lift back. And then from here, we're going to lower, keeping that body line, and rise. Coming forward, upward facing dog, lift the sternum, and downward facing dog, exhale here. Now we're going to step forward with the right foot, but we're not going to put the outer edge of the left foot down right away. So step up, we'll enter it from a high lunge, and then put the back foot down, lifting up. Or you could stay in the lunge if that felt good. Reach. And now to come out of the pose, we're going to do the same thing. Lift the back heel. Right? It's harder. Reach. You feel all the muscles in the butt working in the front leg maybe. Step back, find that plank, and then keep that plank as you lower and rise. Coming through, upward facing dog, inhale, and take it back. Downward facing dog, exhale. So other side, lift that left leg up, keep the back heel up to rise up. So you're really working this left butt. Reach those arms, and then turn the back foot down, out, lifting up. Reach, reach. And then to come out the same way, lift the back heel, reach the arms, take the hands down, stepping back, lowering, belly in, keep that plank, rise up, come through, lift the sternum, and downward facing dog. And breathe, inhale, and exhale. Stay connected to your breaths. Inhale and exhale. And again. Hopefully feeling more warmed up now. And we're gonna bend the knees. And if you want to, find a little target and float up and fold. And then bend the knees, reach the arms, and come to stand. Come to Samasthiti. And now we're gonna take the feet out and come forward for a forward bend. So your feet can be hip width or a little wider, it doesn't really matter, but I want them to be straight if you can. If you can grab your calves and pull your body down, that's great, right? Really engage the front of the legs and try and straighten them. So if you have to be a little higher, that's fine, but just pull. Make sure you're not in your neck. Shoulders are down, pull. Head is released. And then inhale, look up and lengthen. Take the hands on the waist and rise up. Good, we come to Samasthiti. And now we're gonna take our blocks and put them on the outer edge of the mat. One in the front and one in the back. And we're gonna come into some standing poses. So we take a big step out. We're gonna turn the left foot in and the right foot out. And we're gonna find ourselves in Warrior Two. Bending the front knee, keeping the belly lifted. See if you can open that knee. Gently gazing over your fingertips and breathe. It's a strong warrior pose. Breathe, inhaling and exhaling. And then we're going to take the forearm on the front thigh for Utthita Parshva extended side angle pose. Maybe take your hand down to the block. Having some height here has really helped me to heal this right hip. If you're sagging into your pose, there's no strength there. So find a place where it's supported. You're up high enough, but maybe not too high to feel that work in the external rotator. And then straighten your front leg for Trikonasana. And just turn and enjoy the pose. And then from here, we're gonna reach this top arm over the head so you feel more side body. Rise up a little, and guess what? You're feeling obliques. We're gonna use those later. So start to turn. The right foot turns in, the left foot turns out. Let's come into the strong warrior pose. Keeping the belly lifted, feeling the left knee turn out, and reach your drishti or your gaze, that inner gaze over the fingertips. And then coming into Utthita Parshva. Circle the right arm and then take your hand down and you start to turn the left ribs to the right. Feel the side body stretching here. It feels really nice. And then from here, go ahead and reach your right arm up to the ceiling. You might have to move that block or your hand back a little bit. Really open here. Enjoy this triangle pose. I feel a nice stretch on this right hip. And then we're gonna reach the arm over the ear, get even more side body. You might have to come up a little. And now you feel your obliques bring you up. And then we'll take the hands on the waist and we'll make sure the feet aren't turned out here. Maybe they're just straight ahead. Inhale here, exhale, come forward. Really pull your belly in as you do this. Take your hands down to the floor and try and pull your head down. But don't be in your neck and shoulders, right? Really draw the shoulders down and breathe. Try and really straighten your legs. You straighten, you use the muscles in the front to stretch the back muscles. Inhale. This pose is called Prasarita Padottanasana. So it's a spread out, intense forward bend. Now we're going to take it to goddess. So turn your feet out, but try and stay wide and come down. This feels really nice in the rotators. Come down and see if you can hold this pose. Try not to let your knees go in and try not to lean forward and also try not to stick the butt out. And hold, hold, hold. Maybe sink lower and rise up. And now we're gonna turn to face the right again. So the right foot forward and both hips, you wanna have both hips facing this direction as you come forward. So they're both facing forward. And from here, the elbows are pulling back. You can take your block whatever level, right, works for you, and start to reach forward, trying to get your spine long. And breathe here. Inhale, exhale, keep trying to pull your right butt back. And then from here, look up and lengthen. Put your block outside of your front foot, right outside the ankle, whatever height you need, and then put the left hand right on it. We're gonna come into Pavrita, revolved triangle. Inhale here, twist, but keep pulling your right butt back and make sure your head doesn't come and round towards your butt, but you're pulling your head away from your butt. And then inhale, use your legs a lot and rise. And then we'll pivot to the other side. So turning both hips to face forward. You can take your hands on your waist and really get that length in your spine, elbows back. Start to come forward. Keep pulling this left butt back. Take your block down, whatever level you need to use, and really lengthen here. See how that feels? Can you get long in your spine? Keep pulling the left butt back. And then look up and lengthen. And we'll take the block to the outside of the left ankle. Take your right hand on and reach up with the left arm. And really lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone and turn your ribs. Turn your ribs and your gaze up if you can. Breathing. And then inhale and rise up. And we'll step everything together in Samasthiti. And now we're going to do a balance pose that resembles a part of Vashistasana if you take it this far. So we're going to use the wall, right? And we're going to start, let's start with the right leg. So the right leg comes up into tree pose. And I'm going to step a little away from the wall. I want to use it, but I want to be an arm's length distance, almost just so my fingertips are on it. And then I come into tree pose here. And just pause for a moment in tree pose. And then we're going to grab the toes. So you can take this in stages. You grab the toes, and then we're going to reach that leg up. Your leg might be here. That's okay. Just see where you can take it. And with this arm on the wall, see if you can play around with letting go and really exploring this. And then maybe you can let go and hold your leg out and come back to tree pose. And we'll try the other side. You can use the wall the whole time, but find that you're far enough away that if you want to let go, you can play around with that. So coming into tree pose, take a moment here and just feel the balance, right? You're probably not even using the wall. And then grab the toe, and we're going to lift out this way. And then see if you can find something really beautiful here, reaching up. And then we're going to see if we can let go. Bring it back to tree pose. And come in. And now we're ready to do Vashistasana. So to do this, we'll come to the front of the mat. We're going to clean the house a little bit so these don't get in the way. And we'll start. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Let's just step back to down dog here. So we're in down dog. And now we're coming into the pose. So we're going to turn to the outer edge of the right foot and get the shoulder probably over the wrist, but it just needs to be stable. You need to be pushing out of it. And here we are, Vashistasana. Now, if this is not happening for you and you feel sinky, put your left foot in front and try and push. Use your foot like a kickstand and lift up. And then if this is okay, you might want to try taking your foot behind. And then you can maybe open up more to the ceiling and find that lift. And then if this is going well, maybe you find Vashistasana. Or maybe you want to try tree pose and lift. And then we'll slowly come out. Come to the knees. We're going to take a little break here. You can go to child's pose or down dog. And I'm just going to turn around and show you from here. So we're going to come into the pose, come onto all fours and take it to downward facing dog. And then from here, we're going to roll over to the outer edge of the left foot and get that shoulder in a good alignment with the wrist so that you feel stable, right? And lift up. And to modify, if this doesn't feel stable, let's put our kickstand down, push down and try and lift up and feel that. Maybe that feels great. But if you want to try something else, let's see what happens if you put the foot behind you and can you get even more open? And then we're going to try to balance the two out by putting the foot back on top. Make sure you're using these obliques, lifting up, and stay here if this is feeling good, or maybe try your tree pose. And make sure it feels strong, and we'll come back down. And that was Vashistasana. So it doesn't matter what stage you were in with it, it will grow. You just keep trying. And now we're going to come into a gentle release nice kind of back bend pose. So stay on your knees, it'll be puppy pose. Come on to all fours, walk your hands forward, try to keep your hips above your knees if you can, and then just let the sternum melt down towards the floor as you reach your arms, but let it feel good. So if you want to just come to the top of your head, that's good. Just find some breath. If you want to take it a little deeper, you could come to your chin if that felt nice, and just breathe. And then inhale, we'll start to come out of this, and we'll come back into downward facing dog. So just reaching back through the feet, and we'll slowly come up to seated. So you could walk one foot up, the other foot up. You could take your hands to the side, or just reach back and come to seated. And we'll find ourselves in Dandasana. And then from Dandasana, we're gonna go out to Upavista Konasana, wide angle pose. It can be a little intense if you're a little tight in your hips. So go ahead and take the legs out and just notice where you are here. Take your hands behind you and see if you can avoid letting the pelvis curl back and really lift it up. You want to find more of an anterior tilt, so more of that arch in the low back, that natural arch, and lift up out of that. If that's not happening for you, go ahead and sit up on a block or a pillow or blankets. And maybe this is all you do, right? Pull everything in and try to rotate your legs out a little, pressing through the big toe mound. But if this is feeling good and you want to go further, you can go ahead and take the hands in front of you and start to come down. Don't let the feet roll in. Keep the legs strong. And if this is feeling really good, maybe, just maybe, you can grab your toes and really go for it. And breathe. Take a few long, deep breaths here. And really trying to open the legs. Inhale and exhale. And breathing. Inhale, rise up. I'm really excited to be doing that pose again because I couldn't do it for 1.5 years with an injured hip, but it's healing. Let's do something fun now. So curl back a little and just enjoy for a moment. Do a little back bend and we'll slowly let everything come together. So we're gonna take the blocks and we're gonna do a restorative back bend over the blocks. And we're gonna roll down onto them. So you wanna place one block so it's gonna be under the shoulder blades. So you might have to adjust as you do this. So you curl back, find that block so that it's at the bottom edge of your shoulder blade, right under the sternum, and then place the other one at your head. We're gonna make this a little bit more active. So bend the knees and feel as though your tail was going back, right? And you're finding that arch in the upper back, and reach your arms and see where you go. You might not be to the floor, it might be higher than that. And just, can you elevate your shoulders and just reach and breathe. You can close your eyes if you want to and just notice what you're feeling. Opening up, I feel a nice stretch in here, and I feel a lift, like a nice arch. And one more breath. And then straighten your legs, reach the arms. We're gonna do a curl up, pull the belly in, and we'll take the blocks to the side. And now we'll do a slow roll back, just slow, pulling the belly in. We're just trying to release, but you have to work the front to stretch the back, coming all the way down. And now bend the knees. We'll come into a small bridge pose. So take a breath in, exhale, lift up. Feel the butt muscles. Everything's working here and the stretches in the front. And then if you want to, walk your feet in, and maybe you can grab the ankles, or maybe you can interlace, or maybe you're holding onto your mat, but just keep your neck long and lift. Just keep lifting, exploring and feeling the back muscles work in the front, release, and slowly come down. And now pull the knees into the chest and just kind of rock around. You could roll to the side and come up, or you could do a roll up, but I'm going to roll like a ball up. So pull in, roll up. And then from here, we're gonna turn. You could stay on the floor and do Shavasana, but I'm gonna finish seated. So take a comfortable cross-legged position. And that could mean you're out here too, maybe not crossed, but where you feel you can balance. And then just take the hands to the sides for a moment. And take a moment to notice how you're feeling from the practice today, the energy. And then we're going to reach the arms up and take a nice twist to the left. Take your right hand to the inside of your right knee and the left hand behind. You might want to move the right hand to the outside of the left knee and turn a little bit more. Just let the spine release. And then inhale, reach up, and we'll go the other way. So take the left hand to the inside of the left knee and the right hand behind and lift up. Maybe you want to move the left hand to the outside of the right knee and lift up. And then inhale, we'll come back to the center, taking the hands in prayer position, and just take a moment to feel grounding, lifting, and stay in that place of openness and light. Namaste.